left to be. Stars align and the month times nine burn like the ground I leave. Are we leaving on the next train?
Alright, I got some foam sections cut here to start with, just to fill in the spot. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to remove this building out of the way for the time being so I can work up in this area. And I'm going to kind of rework the old spot, bring it up to date a little more, and kind of blend the two of them together and work our way across. So got to pull all this stuff up. I'll put it in a box. That'll all get reset down and it'll look for the better. I'm looking at this spot here and thinking I'm probably going to put the Woodland Scenics old-fashioned post office in there, which kind of goes with this style building in this area. So that's my next project right now. Is I'll work on cleaning this out and we'll get back to you. Alright, I took some time to clean up around here a little as far as getting all the buildings and scenery stuff out of the way. This is all going to get reconstructed, this whole general area. The reason I decided to do it is a lot of it was starting to be dirty, run down. It really, 7 years of toll. I think it needs to be redone and revamped. It'll be similar to what it was. Each of the scenes are in their own little carrying cases here, but the buildings need to be basically washed down, cleaned up, more detail. I mean, if you look at it, there's a lot of dirt there from years of sitting on the layout. So they'll get all cleaned up and redone. But we'll get this all sculpted in. Probably do a little bit different on the back wall section. And I got some other ideas, but in general, the building structures that are there, that were there, are going to stay there. And they'll be similar, but the detail and stuff will all be cleaned up and everything's going to be a little bit better. It won't show its age that it was, but in time. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, we cleaned out a lot more. I moved the plexiglass off to make it easier to go through and work on the backing. And I unplugged the plug for the train station, which you can see. This is the base I made for the train station a long time ago. And that'll be just cleaned up and set back in place. And we'll redo want to upgrade the sidewalks and fence along here. I'll use the hairpin fence I got from Douglas Pitney a while back, and that'll be the new fence instead of the old plastic fence I had. But we go through and clean everything up, kind of freshen it up. It's going to look good. So off to the next part of the project. Alright, I know a lot of you guys like to see how we do some of this stuff. I pulled out my foam that we pre-cut. What I'm going to do, I got the Woodland Scenics hot glue gun here. And we're just going to glue some of this stuff down, get it in place, and then we'll show you what we do to form everything. Don't be afraid to glue it all in good. Some people go, you shouldn't use hot glue. Well, I use hot glue on this all the time. I have been for years. That's how all those are together. The hot glue works good. You don't need construction stuff. This works quick. It works easy. Layers up good. I just throw the hot glue down and go to town. Alright, that piece to go fit in there. Don't worry about the spaces and stuff like that. I'm gonna layer this up, and then once we get that done, then we'll do some plaster work up in here. That's my next section to go in. Go up in here like that. We'll do some forming. I don't know how well you guys can see where I'm just gluing this stuff up. I'm just using a simple Woodland Scenics hot glue gun. If your glue gun doesn't stay hot enough for you to get a whole panel and glue it, don't hesitate to take the foam and cut it in half to make it work. That way then you don't have to try to glue everything in one big shot. I try to just glue it down, get it in place. You gotta remember, we're gonna put plaster over top of all this. If you got a corner that don't stick down where you want it, don't hesitate to stick the hot glue gun in here and fill in that little extra. It'll do what you need it to do. There's Clark Kent's phone booth. Alright. Hold it for a couple minutes and it'll be dry. Like I said, you can cut these in half if you're only gluing up so much at a time. A lot of times you get a big piece like this, you try to hot glue the whole thing. By the time you get to one side, the other side's already cooled off, or you don't have the glue gun's not hot enough to get enough glue out. It doesn't take that much to hold these down in place. And remember, it's a train layout. You're not building a house. You're doing scenery. And most of the time with scenery, like it did here, we ripped it out. You want to be able to rip it out later if you have to. But you know, and from experience from me, I'll tell you right now, you change the layout 15, 20 times. You'll say, oh, the layout's done, the layout's done. The layout is never done. It's always subjected to changes. I don't care. Things get old and worn like this was, time to make some changes. Got a little problem, make some changes. That's the whole fun of doing the hobby. We can be creative. What you like one week, it may be something totally different the next week. You wind up changing things. Like I said, don't need a lot of glue, you just need a little. You need enough to hold it in place. Time this is all done and plaster over top of it, it's going to be pretty solid. Alright, you can see, just layering it up After we get it all layered in place, we'll come back and we'll carve it and plaster it. We're actually going to go back on the old section and actually replaster some of that. Probably going to put some plaster cloth in and a little other work here and there, so you'll have a lot to watch this time. I found the cheapest place to buy glue sticks, Walmart. You can buy a bag for a couple of bucks. You get 24 glue sticks in it. They last a good long time. I've had this bag now for just about a year. Glue gun I got a while back. I have a couple of them. I bought a couple of the cheap ones from Walmart. They nice price. The only problem is they don't last that long. I bought the Woodland Scenics one. Figured I'll try that. And out of all of them, that's lasted me the longest. It was worth the extra money. I mean, you can get industrial ones out there too, but I think this is pretty close to those. This does the job. And they're not overly expensive, some of the ones out there. Get that fit in there nice. Hopefully I'm not boring anybody. I hope you guys had, those of you that got to go to York, I hope you had a good time. Hope you guys get to watch our Train Shop Weekly video coming up on York. I think a lot of you guys will find that interesting. Keep an eye on that. This should be out this Sunday. I know Bill's been working on the editing for it. I'm not the best videoer when I go out and video, but I take the time to get out there and at least try to video. I mean, it's a lot of running around the Orange Hall and so forth. Yeah, we got some good interviews with some nice people, good friends. Picked up a new sponsor for our Facebook group with Narrow Gauge Modeling. They do a lot of detail parts, which you will see coming up in videos on our old train farm videos here. You'll see a lot of the stuff that we're getting in from Kevin. We ordered a lot. And like I said, he's one of our new sponsors for Facebook group for the O-Gauge Model Railroading Tips, Tricks, and more. As you can see, the styrofoam goes up pretty quick. And I'm going to leave it set and dry for the night. And tomorrow we'll do the carving. Alright guys, have a good one. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We thank you for watching us, and you can find us at Hennings Trains, Lansdale, PA, and the Train Shop Weekly, or sometimes weekly, and on Facebook at the O-Gauge Model Railroading Tips, Tricks, and more.